fly away. Remember me while you discover your new life. Time butterfly. To see you in this light really shows your age. The wisdom of a few years and that smile on your face. Don't go through life without ever asking why. Time butterfly. And now, my friend, the time has come for you. Send me a postcard or a letter. I'll see your face again when the time is right. Bye bye butterfly. From my pride, some say I'm still a kid, but they know I'm not a child. It's tragic, it's a little sad, but what happens at this moment make or break the man. It's time for a celebration, it's time for a reckoning, it's time for a conversation. Friends I've lost along the way. It's time to turn a new leaf over. It's time to make a change. It's time to make time for the ones who cared for me. Oh, it's better to be lonely than to be alone. And sometimes the fight's worth fighting, even if it's not your own. Tell me about your evolution, I'll tell you about my resolution. Together we might get this world to change today. Jumping through the fire, bound to get burned, but it's better to have fought that while than to say you never learn. Oh, tomorrow's always coming, and the past is come and gone. The future's out there waiting, so we better keep on keeping on. Oh, it's better to be lonely than to be alone. Sometimes the fight's worth fighting, even if it's not your own. Tell me about your evolution, I'll tell you about my resolution. Together we might get this world to change today.
You're listening to the Jams and Coffee Morning Show. with your host, Brad Brock.
Oh, yeah, good morning, jammers. Welcome to the program. I am Brad Brock, and I'll be your host this morning. Got some news here to talk about, and among other things. But I thank you so much for joining me here this morning over on YouTube or on Facebook or listening in on JNC Radio via the Live365 app. Please give us a subscribe, like, thumbs up, whatever it is that you do on the platform that you're tuning in on. Of course, I'm reading the chats and the comments, so I can see that. And also, we have the JNC hotline open, 772-888-1596, so you can call right in and chat with me if you'd like. Just follow those prompts and get you on the air with me. Got Philip and Justin tuning in over on YouTube. Thanks, guys. and thank you. I try. I put on my best face to be as good looking as possible for you guys here in the mornings. But yeah. The weather, check outside the window. Looks pretty nice out there. This morning, the temperatures are going to be in the 60s. A few showers sitting offshore. This afternoon, the high is in the low to mid 80s under partly sunny skies and some spotty showers popping up around. Tonight are going to be in the low. The lows are going to be in the mid to upper 60s with scattered showers into the evening. And tomorrow, the highs are in the low to mid 80s with a few showers mainly for Palm Beach County, but drier for the Treasure Coast. Yeah. Thursday through Saturday, highs in the low to mid 80s with only a slim chance of isolated showers or storms. But next week, the morning lows are going to be back into the 70s and highs into the mid to upper 80s with the return of scattered showers and storms. So that nice little cool front that we've had rolling through this week will be long gone, and we'll be back to normal. So enjoy fake fall while it lasts, and then we'll be back to some warmer and rainier weather next week. Oh, let's see here. I guess as usual, we'll knock out some national days. I did them late yesterday. I was on a tangent, so we did it late. But here we have some interesting national days and some that you could probably intertwine together. Today is National Cinnamon Bun Day, so you could start it off right first thing in the morning. And you could sweeten up your day with a Scandinavian pastry. This warm bun swirls together a yeasty dough and cinnamon and sugar. Served with coffee or tea and enjoyed with a good book, a friend, or a dance party. Comforts on chilly fall days. Much like we're experiencing today here in South Florida. But not in Tennessee. Tennessee says it's 45 this morning. Philip in Tennessee says it's 45 this morning and going up to the mid-70s. Clear and dry, no rain in the forecast. Chilly weather moving into the weekend, still no rain. 3 weeks without any rain. You guys are in a drought up there in Tennessee. We took it all. That's what happened. Plenty of rain here. Plenty more coming, I'm sure. All right. Cinnamon buns. Delicious. It's like it's a Christmas morning tradition that's been handed down since my grandmother. Every morning you put in cinnamon buns, and that's breakfast. Easy, sweet, delicious. That's Christmas morning. Let's see. What else do we have on the docket? Oh, my God. I can't believe this. October 4th, National Taco Day. Oh, now I know what I'm having for lunch. Get 1, 2, or 3 on National Taco Day. October 4th recognizes the savory tortilla stuffed with fillings. It doesn't have to be Tuesday. However, it is. It's amazing the National Taco Day lands on Taco Tuesday. Yeah, get out there and enjoy your favorite taco. Justin says they're up in Bethesda right now, and it's freezing. Bethesda, Maryland. Yeah, no, y'all can have that. That's What did Philip say? He said, it's dry. Of course, this was after he did his lawn aeration, lime fertilize, and overseed. Less than zero rain for 3 weeks. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if the seeding's going to fare well, but I'm sure. I mean, you've got sprinklers and things like that, right? You got to have some sort of irrigation. But nothing beats the real thing. Listen, I run my sprinklers all the time. Not all the time. That's ridiculous. But a few times a week. And the grass, stays green-ish and grows. But if it rains for a couple of days in a row, my grass, there must be something in the water from the sky. The grass just grows insane. It's unbelievable. Can't get it to grow if I water it myself, but the minute it rains, it grows like wildfire. Yeah, Justin, how long are you up in Bethesda? I miss that place, man. I had some good times up in Bethesda, Maryland. We're working up there years ago. What else is going on? Yeah, National Taco Day on Taco Tuesday. That's a no-brainer. That's what's for lunch. How does that even work out? And, it would be even better if it was National Tequila Day also, but it is National Vodka Day. A close runner-up. Of course, today recognizes a popular beverage used in a variety of cocktails and mixed drinks. So you can explore your options today on October 4th and raise a toast to the celebration. Makers distill a variety of substances to make vodka, and as a result, diverse types of vodka fill the shelves at the liquor store. Grain, potatoes, fruits, and sugar vodkas fit a variety of mixing needs behind the bar or in the kitchen, too. And traditionally, prepared vodkas had an alcoholic content of percent by volume. In the United States, products sold as vodka must have an alcoholic content of 30% or more. So you can enjoy vodka on the rocks or in cocktails and mixed drinks. There's so many to choose from. I prefer the Bloody Mary. That will go well with the cinnamon buns. It's also National Golf Lovers Day. Provides an opportunity for golf enthusiasts to swing down the fairway at least one more time during the season. While celebrating the day, you might notice it's sometimes referred to as National Golf Day. Since 1952, the PGA has held a charity event each year for National Golf Day, which is held on different days each year. The modern game of golf may have originated in the 15th century Scotland. However, it's unclear and very much debated as to its ancient origins. So if you're a golfer, get out there and swing a few before the season ends. And let's see. And finally, it's National Eat Fruit at Work Day. You get busted eating fruit. You can tell your boss, but boss, it's National Eat Fruit at Work Day. No other details. That's it. So get out there and celebrate today. How fun. Taco Day on Taco Tuesday. I maybe have to look it up on a break here, but I wonder where that tradition came from. Other than, obviously, it rhymes, and I'm sure it arose the same time as Thirsty Thursday and, things like that. I don't know. But I'd like to know where that came from. Great marketing, at any rate, for taco providers worldwide. All right, let me get back to my notes here. Oh, yes. Okay. So I want to start with this story because I found it fascinating. Right? So do you guys remember way back in, I don't know, what probably 2010, maybe 2012, 10 years ago? when everybody was doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I don't know if you ever did it, but I have a video floating around out there of me doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, and basically it was to help raise awareness and money for ALS. We all did it. It was a viral thing on the internet. Everybody was doing it. And then that was the last we kind of heard of it. But this is the culmination of that collective thing that we all went out there and did and poured ice cold ice water over our heads. The FDA has approved a treatment that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge helped fund. So just imagine, if you're unfamiliar with ALS, just imagine being trapped in a completely paralyzed body. And that's how the ALS Association describes the progression of the neurological disease called ALS, which 31,000 people in the United States are living with. Thankfully, there's hope for better quality of life thanks to a drug that the Food and Drug Administration just approved. It was 2014. 2014, people all over the world joined in on the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and it raised $115 million in donations, according to the ALS Association. CEO Kalanit Ballas said that the money is what funded the research for the new FDA-approved ALS treatment. She said it's a big day, and it's a really big victory for this community. ALS, of course, also known as the amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or Lou Gehrig's disease, is a terminal progressive neurodegenerative disease. And Mark Weston was diagnosed in 2019. Ballas said people lose the ability to move their muscles, so that might be you can't walk. And then eventually, maybe you can't use your arms, you can't use your fingers, you can't speak, you can't swallow. Eventually, you can't breathe on your own, and then you pass away. However, a new treatment called Relivrio, that's clever. Relivrio was shown in clinical trials to slow the progression of the disease and extend life. Mr. Weston said this might buy some people some time, so that if you extend your life by 5 months or 6 months or maybe a year, maybe another drug will come along that might be more effective in treatment. Weston says Relivrio is one of 3 FDA-approved treatments now on the market. He's currently taking pills for a different treatment that's also intended to prolong his life. Whether or not he starts Relivrio, he said, will depend on his Medicare coverage. That's the world we live in. The company has priced it at, I believe, $13,600 a month, or annually $158,000. Wonderful. Incredibly affordable. It's all going to depend on what my insurance company decides to do. Weston says it's not a cure, but it's a positive step in the right direction. He said, I'm thrilled. It's really exciting for people with ALS and their family members to have a third choice now. A written statement from pharmaceutical company Amylyx said the following. Last week's FDA approval of Relivrio is an exciting milestone for the ALS community and is a major step towards achieving Amylyx's mission to one day end the suffering caused by neurodegenerative diseases. Why is that so tough for me to say? Neurodegenerative diseases. Relivrio is the first approved drug for ALS to demonstrate a statistically significant benefit in function in a clinical trial, as well as an observed benefit on survival in longer-term post-hoc analysis. These robust data were published in the peer-reviewed medical journals, New England Journal of Medicine, Muscle and Nerve, and Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery, and Psychiatry. Amylyx's goal is that every person who's eligible for Relivrio will have access as quickly and efficiently as possible. As we know, people with ALS and their families have no time to wait. Our teams are in place and ready to help people living with ALS gain access to this important new therapeutic option. So there you go, the Ice Bucket Challenge that we all thought was crazy raised enough money to research this new treatment for ALS. So if you dumped cold water on your head and then threw some money at the cause, good for you. You deserve an applause. I didn't even mean to rhyme, but I did. Yes, yes. And that water was cold. Yeah, Philip said, progress to treat ALS is awesome. Yeah, it's a really terrifying disease. And on a personal note, it's one of my biggest fears. You know, I often, as many people do, you know, in a morbid kind of way, you wonder, you know, like what you weigh it. Would you rather have something that takes a while, you know, for you to succumb to, or do you want to snap out like, you know, like dying in your sleep, or, you know, going to bed one night and never waking up? I often wonder if, you know, or debate with myself how I'd like to go. And, you know, I feel like what I've come to is it's a trade-off. You know, if you have something that's slow and progressive, it gives you an opportunity to maybe sew up some loose ends in your life and, you know, rekindle relationships that might have gone stale over the years. You know, for somebody like me, I like to cross my T's and dot my I's and put a period or an exclamation point at the end of everything that I do. And I feel like I would require some time to make that happen. But then on the other hand, you have to go through whatever suffering that entails. If you just go to sleep one night and never wake up again, I guess none of it really matters at that point. You know, for you, certainly there's things for your loved ones that are going to have to pick up the pieces and move on. But for you, that's you've clocked out. Your time's done. And, you know, hopefully you can look back on your life and feel like you did a pretty good job. But, yeah, Philip said, I think we all think of that at some point. Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't dwell on it. I don't want to make anybody believe that I sit here and think, you know, ponder the inevitability of my demise. But it does cross my mind from time to time, you know, as I'm sure it does to everyone. So, yeah, let me know. How would you rather go out if this is something that you thought about? Would you rather just go to sleep one night and that's it, lights out forever? Or would you rather have something where you kind of can see the end coming head on and, you know, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of, you know, sew up all the loose ends in your life? Let me know in the chats and comments, or you can give me a call. We can talk about it. 772-888-1596. I'm going to take a quick musical break, and when we come back, I got some music news from Lindsey Buckingham and Judas Priest. And we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Jams and Coffee in the Morning. Don't go away.
I tried pushing every lemon, clicked my heels and I was in it. Watching clock hands passing hours as it crumbled like a tower. And chandeliers and ringing ears, and when your heart is filled with fear, mending souls and growing old and taking what you wanna hear. Oh, when you're out of place and out of face, you're running in a losing race, because it's all champagne, kisses and cognac lies, poison such a pretty disguise. Cognac, kisses and champagne like a puppy wrapped in chains, chasing sun into the rain. Taking cues from pointing fingers and letting silent stories linger in a window panes and losing games. Taking all you had to gain, trying to catch a straw to drop a name. Oh, when you're out of place and out of face, you're running in a losing race. Because it's all champagne, kisses and cognac lies. Poison, such a pretty disguise. Cognac, kisses and champagne lies. Oh, the way you tell them, well, it works each time. Oh, watching wonderful pass you by. Poison is such a pretty disguise. Oh, champagne, kisses and cognac lies. Stealing whiskey stories from a heart of a wine. Oh, breaking promises and breaking ties. Poison is such a pretty disguise. Oh, champagne, kisses and cognac lies. Poison, such a pretty disguise. Cognac, kisses and champagne lies. Oh, the way you tell them, well, it works each time. Really thought you had it figured out this time. Poison is such a pretty disguise. Poison, such a pretty disguise. Poison, such a pretty disguise.
All right, we're back with Jams and Coffee here in the morning. That was Summer Gill with Cognac Kisses. Philip was saying he loves Summer's music. I also agree. She's awesome. There's some news in the music world. Lindsey Buckingham cancels his tour because of health issues. He had been, having some problems previously. Hang on, guys. I got a little. There we go. He'd been having some medical problems, and he called off his tour dates in the UK due to ongoing health issues. Of course, the former Fleetwood Mac singer-guitarist shared the news Sunday afternoon. He said, due to ongoing health issues, Lindsey is regrettably having to cancel the remaining shows on his current European tour. The statement reads, refunds, of course, will be available at the point of purchase, and Lindsey sends his deepest apologies to all of his fans who are planning to attend and hopes to return to Europe in the future. Buckingham's European tour was postponed in May after he and members of his crew tested positive for COVID-19. At the time, Buckingham's team lamented the heartbreaking development, noting that the tour was to be the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer's first in Europe as a solo act. It's unclear what ails Buckingham at the moment. The musician suffered a massive heart attack back in 2019, and complications from a resulting surgery damaged his vocal cords and derailed his initial attempt to make a comeback after his Fleetwood Mac exit the previous year. Buckingham is still scheduled to go on the road in the U.S. later this month. It's unclear if those dates will happen as scheduled. But you can visit his website, of course, for more information on that. We wish Lindsey the best. It was sad that he got kind of axed out of Fleetwood Mac. By many accounts, he's very difficult to work with. To be a fly on the wall. But either way, still legendary as far as I'm concerned. And hope the best for him. And yes, he is a killer guitar player, and his picking style, his finger picking style, is just second to none. He's a legend. So we wish him the best. He just celebrated a birthday. I believe we just talked about his birthday either probably at the end of last week. Here you go. Another person having heart problems. Judas Priest guitarist Richie Faulkner underwent another heart surgery this past August, 11 months after he nearly died on stage due to a heart condition. Of course, Faulkner was rushed to the hospital in September of 2021, just about a year ago, or a little over a year ago now, with chest pain after a Priest gig at the Louder Than Life Festival in Louisville, Kentucky. Faulkner, who had no previous family history of heart issues, suffered from acute cardiac aortic dissection, which is a highly rare and extremely deadly condition in which the largest artery in the body breaks open. The 42-year-old guitarist was rushed to the nearby Rudd Heart and Lung Center, where doctors saved his life over a harrowing 10-hour surgery. Well, in a new interview with that Fuzzing Rock show, Faulkner revealed that he had a subsequent open heart surgery back in August. They found something just before the European leg of the Judas Priest World Tour, and it was basically a hole in the repair, and there was a leak. He said, I'd basically sprung a leak in there and was causing a sac to form around my heart. 2 days after Judas Priest's European tour wrapped up this summer, Faulkner headed back into surgery. He says he's doing a cardiac rehab and will be ready for the band's U.S. tour dates this month. He said, I'm doing well, feeling strong, feeling healthy. But yeah, it was a bit daunting, to be honest, to be touring Europe knowing that was going on. But you've got to put your trust in the doctors, and it worked out okay. I'm recovering, he said. So, yeah, that was a crazy story that came out. He had they were in the middle of playing their iconic song "Painkiller," and by all accounts, he had just immaculately played the solo part of that song before he collapsed and was rushed. And thankfully, that the Rudd Heart and Lung Center was minutes away from the venue. Minutes away from the venue, and they were able to save his life. He was literally bleeding out in his chest cavity. A really, really crazy story. But yeah, so hopefully he's getting that sorted out, or he said he has gotten that sorted out. Hopefully it stays that way, and then gets to jam out for a little bit longer. Speaking of hearts, you like my little segue there? I found this story interesting. We talk a lot about oxytocin here on the show. Whenever we talk about mental health or attachment issues or any of these little stories that come up, it always somehow comes back to oxytocin, which is what they call the love hormone. You know, which it's what your brain produces when it's wanting to make social connections to other people. In a nutshell, so new studies come out that links oxytocin to the mending of broken hearts, literally. So, of course, oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone, may actually help heal broken hearts, literally. In a new study of zebrafish and human cells, scientists found that the brain-made hormone may help heart tissue regenerate after injury, and, in theory, could someday be used in the treatment of heart attacks, according to researchers. Because the new study was conducted in fish tanks and lab dishes, however, the theoretical treatment is still far off from realization. Oxytocin has been nicknamed the love or cuddle hormone for its known role in forging social bonds and trust between people. And its levels often rise when people cuddle, have sex, or orgasm. No laughing. I feel everybody giggling that's tuning in right now, including me. However, the so-called love hormone also serves many other functions in the body, such as triggering contractions during childbirth and promoting lactation afterward. Oxytocin also helps guard the cardiovascular system from injury by lowering blood pressure, reducing inflammation, and diffusing free radicals, which is a reactive byproduct of normal cell metabolism. That's according to a 2020 review in the journal Frontiers in Psychology. The new study, published last Friday in the journal Frontiers in Cell and Developmental Biology, highlights yet another potential benefit of oxytocin. At least in zebrafish, the hormone helps the heart replace injured and dead cardiomyocytes, which is the muscle cells that power heart contractions. Early results in human cells hint that oxytocin could stimulate similar effects in people if delivered with the right timing and dose. The heart has a very limited ability to replace or repair damaged or dead tissue. The study authors noted in their report that several studies suggest that after an injury, like a heart attack, a subset of cells in the heart's outermost membrane, called the epicardium, don a new identity. And these cells migrate down into the layer of the heart tissue where the muscles reside and transform into stem-like cells, which can then turn into several heart cell types, including cardiomyocytes. This process has largely been studied in animals, and there's some evidence to suggest that it may also occur in adult humans. Unfortunately, if the process does occur in people, it seems to unfold too inefficiently and in too few cells to result in meaningful tissue regeneration after a heart attack. By somehow encouraging more epicardial cells to morph into cardiomyocytes, the authors theorize, scientists could help the heart rebuild itself after an injury. And I'm going to put a pause right there because these kinds of studies fascinate me. Because while pharmaceuticals, and I've said this many times, pharmaceuticals are an incredible invention by mankind, and they certainly have their place, and I would never take that away from these incredible discoveries on that front. But when you're able to take something that the body creates and help it repair itself, to me, that's the most fascinating thing, because, in my opinion, that is evolution. When you're able to, take your own cells and teach them how to do things more efficiently, that's evolution. And we often think of evolution as, we went from, single cell organisms to what we are today, and we never really think about how we got there. Nor is there evidence, obviously, of how we made it to this point. But, who's to say that we, figuring out how to evolve our cells ourselves isn't a step in evolution. I think it's fascinating that they're able to take human body-made cells and teach them how to go and save your heart after a heart attack. So I'm really interested in the outcome of these studies. Whether I get to live to see it or not is really, it doesn't matter to me because they're working on it. I think it's brilliant. So let's get back to the story here. The study authors found they could jumpstart the process in human cells in a lab dish by exposing them to oxytocin. They also tested 14 other brain-made hormones, but none of the others could coax the cells into the desired stem-like state required to make new cardiomyocytes, according to that statement. The team then conducted follow-up experiments in zebrafish, a fish in the minnow family known for its impressive ability to regenerate tissue in its body, including the brain, bones, and heart. The team found that within 3 days of a cardiac injury, the fish's brain began pumping out oxytocin like mad, producing up to 20 times more than they had prior to the injury. The hormone then traveled to the heart, plugged into its receptors, and kicked off the process of transforming epicardial cells into new cardiomyocytes. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Now, these experiments provide early hints that oxytocin may play a key role in heart repair after injury. By boosting its effects, scientists could develop new treatments to improve patients' recovery after heart attacks and reduce the risk of future heart failure, which is a massive problem. Once you've had a heart attack, your percentage or percentile of it happening again just goes through the roof. It's unbelievable. These treatments might include drugs that contain oxytocin or other molecules that can plug into the hormone's receptors. Senior author Aitor Aguirre, an assistant professor in the Michigan State University Department of Biomedical Engineering, said in a statement, "Next, we need to look at oxytocin in humans after cardiac injury. Overall, pre-clinical trials in animals and clinical trials in humans are necessary to move forward." And I hope that they do. Really, really fascinating stuff. I love stories like that. Mike Lebeck, thanks for tuning in over on Facebook. Coffee in hand, that's good. It's the best way to start the morning. But yes, I can't get over it. And anytime they develop things that the human body can really kind of perpetuate itself, is fascinating to me, because I'm not a big proponent. And like I said, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. Pharmaceuticals have their place, and we would not have the quality of life, or some of us or some of our friends and family, if it was not for them. But I am a huge proponent of not a proponent, but I don't believe in long-term pharmaceutical use. I understand when it needs to happen for chronic conditions, or for life extending, from terminal illnesses. But if it can be avoided, like high blood pressure and things like that, I believe that there's homeopathic ways to reduce those things, because you may have your blood pressure under control, but now your kidneys are working in overdrive to process all that other stuff. And I just, so for me, when I hear stories like this, where it's, helps you get through a heart attack and repair your heart in a natural way, it's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. I'm having wicked deja vu right now, you guys, and I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it's crazy. Everywhere I look, I'm like, oh man, this is I could say I've been here before, but that's because I'm here every morning. But no, I'm just having one of those moments. Deja vu, another whole thing. We should find a story on that to talk about. Maybe I will. Now that we're in it. Oh man, but I have some celebrity birthdays for you today. We like to celebrate our celebrities here on Jams and Coffee. Yeah. Oh no, that wasn't part of the deja vu. I had a little spill here, guys, so I'm gonna take a quick break and clean up my mess, and be right back. Don't go away.
Spent 5 days in the same underwear. Life ain't easy being a guitar man, and life ain't easy in a guitar band. Double the day we playing day and night. Hey now fiddle, are you feeling alright? When you ain't got no sleep, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Get away from me, man, coffee's my jitterbug. We're playing for them, we'll play for you. We're gonna play for 1,000 and up we'll play for two. 'Cause that's what we do. Yeah, life ain't easy being a guitar man, and life ain't easy in a guitar band. City to enjoy ourselves. 1, 2, 3 days goes by fast. I gotta get out of the city, I spent all my cash. We all say we hate it and it's fun to pretend. I'll pick y'all up next week and we can do it again. Life ain't being a guitar man, life ain't easy in a guitar band.
Well, that was exciting. That was the Nouveau Honkies. Live Ain't Easy. I got my mess cleaned up just in the nick of time. Oh, my goodness. That's what happens when I get really excited about something that we're talking about and my hands go flailing. Philip said, Brad Nimble Fingers Brock. Yeah, that's... I've been called a lot of things, Philip. I don't know about Nimble Fingers. It could be good, though. Could be good. All right. So we got some celebrity birthdays here for you. Hopefully without coffee spilling incidents. So turning 34 years old today is Melissa Benoist, actress who was nominated for a 2013 Teen Choice Award for a role as Marley Rose on the hit television series Glee. In 2015, she was cast as the title character in the television series Supergirl. Melissa Benoist turning 34 years old. And for you French enthusiasts out there, I am aware that the French would pronounce it Benoit or Benoit, but apparently her family and her pronounce it Benoist. So there you go. Turning 33, and I can't believe this. For some reason, I thought she was a little older than 33. But Dakota Johnson, the actress who had her breakout television role as Kate Fox on Ben and Kate, she gained further recognition, of course, through her role as Anastasia Steele in the 2015 film 50 Shades of Grey and the subsequent films afterwards. And notably the daughter of Don Johnson from Miami Vice and Nash Bridges and various other things that he's been a part of. And, of course, Melanie Griffith. 33. She's so young. She's just a little boo-boo. She's lovely. Dakota Johnson. Happy birthday. Alicia Silverstone turning 46 years old. Actress and animal rights activist who famously played Cher Horowitz in the cult classic Clueless. Her performance in The Crush earned her an MTV Movie Award. That was with Mark Wahlberg. That was a crazy film. In 2020, she began starring on the Netflix series The Babysitter's Club. Alicia Silverstone, turning 46 years old today. Susan Sarandon's turning 76 years old today. That's unbelievable to me. I still remember Susan Sarandon as Janet from Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's how I'll always remember her. 76 today. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Dead Man Walking back in 1996. Her other major films include Thelma and Louise, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Anywhere But Here, Elizabethtown, and Enchanted. She plays actress Betty Davis in the effects series Feud, Betty and Joan. That was a great miniseries as well. Happy birthday, Susan Sarandon. Turning 43 years old today, the actress best known for her roles in the 1999 film She's All That, Rachel Lee Cook. Turning 43 years old today. She also played in the 2001's film Josie and the Pussycats. I wonder what she's up to these days. She's turning 43 today. That's what she's up to today. Turning 65 years old today, entrepreneur Russell Simmons. He co-founded the hip-hop music label Def Jam, a huge record label, and also created successful clothing lines, Fat Farm, Argyle Culture, and American Classics. Russell Simmons, 65 today. And turning the double nickel, Liev Schreiber, of course, became recognized for his roles in such films as The Sum of All Fears, Salt with Angelina Jolie, and Taking Woodstock. Also played a major role in the Scream trilogy. As a stage actor, he won a Tony Award for Best Featured Actor for his role in Glengarry Glen Ross. He began playing the title character in the Showtime series Ray Donovan in 2013 and was also in the X-Men. He was Sabretooth in the X-Men series there with Hugh Jackman. Love Liev Schreiber. He's been in a ton of stuff. That's just the tip of the iceberg and what he's been involved in. So there are your birthdays. Happy birthday, celebrities. Yes. After talking about the national days, I'm thinking about tacos. I have tacos on my mind. I'm wondering what tacos I want to get. Delicious. Might have to be an early lunch. It never stops growing. What do we got going on? Let's see. We're kind of wheeling and barreling towards the end here. Captain Mike tuning in over there from the Misfit Pirates. It was great to see you on Sunday, my friend. I'm so thankful that you guys popped in to say hi. It was great to see all of you guys at the Sneaky Tiki on Sunday. And hope you, wherever you wound up, it was a good time. And don't be a stranger. It was always great to see you, my friend. What else is going on here? Let's dive into our top 10 here. And I got some shameless plugs for you. And I'll let you get on with your life. I appreciate you spending a few moments of it here with me. This one is near and dear to my heart as an older millennial. Right on the cusp of Gen X and the millennial transitional period there. So we still got to enjoy the old school things, and we also got to grow up with the technological advancements that made us the millennials. So this one's near and dear to my heart. When you think of Halloween, and it's topical for the season, when you think of Halloween, what candy comes to mind? Anybody? You can let me know. When you think of Halloween, what candy comes to mind? Well, for many people, including myself, it's candy corn. Now, over 35 million pounds of the sugary triangles are sold in October alone. It's one of the most iconic autumn candies that has been in existence for over 100 years. Can you believe that? In fact, candy corn is not much younger than one of the oldest candies around, Necco wafers. Yeah, Philip says crayon corn. Yep. And I have in this list, there's something interesting about that waxy outer coating that we're going to talk about. Adults and kids alike have enjoyed the sweetness of candy corn since the late 19th century. It's claimed that a man named George Renninger invented the candy in the 1880s. George worked for the Wonderle Candy Company, which began selling the candy. Eventually, the recipe was picked up by the Golitz Candy Company, which is now Jelly Belly Candy Company. And as they say, sweet history was made. Love it or hate it, let's take a look at the 10 things you might not know about this classic Halloween candy in our JNC Top 10. Here we go. All right. Number 10 on our list here, things you might not know about candy corn. Truth be told, candy corn production was hard work. Before automation, making candy corn was a very difficult process. The candy has 3 layers, white, orange, and yellow. The ingredients were heated until they were melted. Then the hot liquid was poured into buckets. Employees would have to walk with these heavy buckets and hand pour the liquid into kernel-shaped molds. Since candy corn is multi-layered, the employees would have to repeat this process 3 times. It was such hard work that candy corn was only made for several months out of the year. Now that the process is automated, candy cane is made all year long. See? Moving into the future. Number 9 here on our list. Candy corn has ingredients we all expect, like sugar, corn syrup, and artificial flavor. But have you heard that it also contains bug secretions? That's right. The smooth coating on the outside of the candy corn is made from lac resin. And lac resin is an insect secretion from lac bugs, not the actual bug itself. Now, these red parasites secrete a resin to protect themselves, which is then scraped up and used to give candy corn its shiny look. You haven't noticed this on the ingredient list because it's probably labeled as confectioner's glaze. Don't give it too much thought, though. Lac resin is in a lot of stuff. Plus, bug consumption is not that unusual in many places around the world, I'll have you know. Number 8 on our list today is, let's see, what is it? Candy corn is best known, of course, for its sweet vanilla and honey flavor. For 100 years later, new flavors have been introduced. Some tasty and some just downright strange. There are the traditional flavors like s'mores candy corn, harvest corn, and caramel apple corn. If you want to take it up a notch, there are also some really unusual flavors like Brock's Tailgate candy corn or Thanksgiving dinner candy corn. Tailgate mix includes flavors like hot dogs, hamburgers, and popcorn. Popcorn might be pretty good. Thanksgiving dinner is also made with flavors you wouldn't expect, like turkey, green beans, cranberry sauce, and coffee. Coffee might be pretty good too. According to one reviewer, the green bean flavor was like mowing the lawn with your mouth open. If you can handle the Harry Potter Birdie Bots beans, then these candy corn flavors might be right up your alley. Number 7 on our list, things you might not know about candy corn. Humans have always had a fascination with making things bigger and better. For instance, the world's largest rocking chair or the world's largest frying pan. So why not make a piece of candy corn as big as possible? Well, it's already been done with the world's largest chocolate bar and the world's largest candy cane. Surprisingly, as of now, there are no Guinness World Records for candy corn. But that didn't stop some YouTubers from trying. There are videos on YouTube with instructions for making giant candy corn at home with a lot of sugar and patience. You can go for the world record yourself and impress all of your friends. It sounds like too much effort. Jelly Belly now offers a giant version of their candy corn for purchase. This version is about 3 times the size of their regular candy corn and has a chocolate, vanilla, and cinnamon flavors. Beat the work yourself. Get somebody else to do it. Number 6 on the list. So, 1950 was a pretty bad year for candy corn. On September 9th, 1950, while preparing for Halloween season, the Golitz Confectionery in Midland Park, New Jersey caught fire. One of the kettles used to heat the candy corn ingredients caught fire and caused the biggest candy factory fire in history. Thankfully, all 12 workers managed to get out unharmed, but the fire kept burning. The factory was a block long, and nearby residents had to hose down their homes to keep them cool. And it took days before the fire was finally out. There were thousands of onlookers, and the Golitz Company lost 2,000 pounds of candy corn that year. Number 5 here, also in 1950, still not boding well. During the same season in 1950, kids across the country were getting sick with bad diarrhea and skin rashes. It was Halloween, so of course kids were eating more candy than usual, but it was making them sick. The symptoms were eventually linked to the consumption of orange dye number 1. Back in 1950, orange dye number 1 was used as a food coloring in many products like candy corn and even hot dogs. Orange dye number 1 is considered a coal tar dye. Basically, it's derived from byproducts of processed coal. It also contains benzene, which is toxic. So rightfully so, this dye ended up getting delisted from the FDA and from our candy corn. Number 4 on our list, move over pumpkin spice. Candy corn is a new kid on the block. For many years now, a number of breweries have been experimenting with candy corn flavors. Pumpkin is always a classic, but it's a fun idea to experiment with new seasonal flavors. Urban Growler Brewing in Minnesota, don't you know? They brew their candy corn imperial cream ale with 65 pounds of the sweet stuff. And the Mason Jar Brewing Company in California named their version the Candy Corn Holio. Candy corn plus beer. Why not, right? Candy corn in beer might sound excellent to some, but candy corn on pizza? Back in 2017, a Twitter user decided to bake their pizza with an additional topping. You may have guessed, candy corn. After posting it online, the colorful candy corn pizza went viral and sparked a debate even more lively than pineapple on pizza. Several chefs, including Giada De Laurentiis and Curtis Stone, even tried it on the Today Show. Overall, the consensus was that candy corn definitely does not belong on pizza, and 99% of amateur chefs would agree. Let's leave that viral trend back in 2017 unnecessary. Number 3 on our list today, Generation X, as we mentioned, is any person born between 1965 and 1980. As it turns out, this generation loves candy corn more than any other, although it's a close race. In 2020, the National Confectioners Association reported that 58% of Gen Xers enjoy the candy, and right behind them are the baby boomers at 56%. It's also reported that California is the state that purchases the most candy corn. If you're a Gen Xer from California, chances are pretty good that this is your favorite Halloween treat. Number 2, and this is a good one. For those that don't like candy corn, maybe you would like it better wrapped in crescent dough and deep fried. Wrap anything, put dough on anything and fry it. Everything else gets deep fried. Twinkies, Oreos. So it's only reasonable that candy corn does too. But is this only available at the state fair? Nope. In fact, there are plenty of recipes to try at home. Some use crescent dough, others use Bisquick, which is a favorite of mine, or Funfetti pancake mix. The original creator is Amy Erickson, who writes the blog Oh Bite It. She decided to create the gooey, sugary fried treat that she had a plethora of leftover candy corn, because she had a plethora of leftover candy corn. And as with anything related to candy corn, reactions were split. Depending on who you ask, it might be the best thing ever or a step too far. And finally, here on our top 10 list today, this quintessential Halloween candy wasn't actually created with that intent. Before it was known as candy corn, it was called chicken feed. Philip said, dang, I missed all the top 10. Gonna have to replay it. Work gets in the way sometimes. That's okay. Luckily, you can revisit this and watch it at your leisure. Let's see here. Before it was called candy corn, it was called chicken feed, and it sold as penny candy. For 130 years ago, a large part of the population was rural and worked in agriculture. In order to market this demographic, candies looked like pumpkins, turnips, and corn. Did you know that if you stack up candy corn, it also looks like corn on the cob? That was something I found out much later in life. But before we had the help of machines, candy corn was only produced several months out of the year, typically in the fall. And it wasn't until after World War II that the candy corn really became known as a Halloween favorite. Sugar rations were ended after the war, and trick-or-treating became a big deal. At that point, candy corn was prepackaged, making it easier to hand out. Plus, just look at it. It's colors of white, yellow, and orange, and it gives it a festive Halloween flair. Today, candy corn ranks up as one of the most popular Halloween candies. Love it or hate it, it's a favorite that's here to stay. And this has been your JNC Top 10. All right. I've got just a few shameless plugs for you today before I let you get on with your day. Most importantly, tomorrow night is the Jams and Cocktails live podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern. Right here where you're watching this show, you can catch that show tomorrow night. We have Ricky B from the band The Shake in the house. He's going to be performing some of his solo stuff. He's an incredible looper artist. I've seen him many times and had the opportunity to watch him play just before my set. He's awesome. They're fresh off of a tour, so we'll get to hear all those stories about that. Ricky B will be in the studio with us tomorrow night. Very excited. He was supposed to be here ages ago, but he had just gotten off a tour then as well, and but literally the day before, so he was beat. I was under the weather, so we decided to nix that and reschedule. And this is the rescheduled date, and so far, God willing, it's on and we're ready to rock and roll. So tune in for that. I'll be posting about it, obviously, over the next day and tomorrow as well. So you'll see the links for all that stuff. Check out jncpodcast.com. It's literally the most central place you can go to find out anything about what we've got going on, our various shows. You can watch the shows right there on the website. You can listen to the podcasts right there on the website. We have our music news and our entertainment news there as well. Sign up for our mailing list, all kinds of stuff. And there's more to come. I got to get our social media, our Instagram and stuff put back on there. And put our shot of the week back on there as well. So all of that is there, jncpodcast.com. You can listen to JNC Radio there as well. Or you could take JNC Radio with you wherever you go by downloading the Live365 Radio App. It's completely free. You just get in there, type in JNC Radio. It'll pop right up. Add us to your favorites and listen to this show in the morning on your drive or listen to great music all day long that we play on there. So do that. That's awesome. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a major push to get subscribers on that channel. So if you've not, follow the link. They're in the comments on Facebook. They're all over the place. So just head to our YouTube channel and subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it gives us confidence to continue doing what we're doing. Appreciate that. Check out Paul Robertson's, our good friend Paul's podcast, Drums and Rums, and his various offerings as well. Paul's great. I can't wait to get him back. Hurricane season needs to subside a little bit. I'd like to call him the Batman of hurricane season. So he's out there doing his thing and saving lives. At least that's what I like to say. So once that dies down a little bit, we'll be happy to have him back in the chats and hanging out with him and having a cocktail. So, Paul, we love you, man. Check out Drums and Rums. Check out our friends at Code Rum. at thecoderum.com. Check out our friends at Copper Bottom Distilling. They make rum, vodka, all kinds of different things up there in the Daytona Beach area, but I think it's more in Holly Hill. But check them out as well. I like their pirate ship hat. That's what I'm wearing today. What else? I think that's it. I know I mentioned that I had a very important interview yesterday. I'll let you know that I thought it went very well. And hopefully I'll hear something by the end of the week. And I'll be able to make some announcements. But thank you for your good vibes and your kind words. And I'll let you know as that goes up. At any rate, I think I'm going to let you guys get on with your day so I can get out there and mow the grass. Oh, boy. Oh, joy. But thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me this morning. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8 a.m. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Love you guys. Bye.
Tune in again tomorrow morning for the latest local buzz, national headlines, music news, and more on JNC in the Morning, right here on Facebook and YouTube.